We are just a few days away from some points-paying NASCAR in the form of the Daytona Duels. So, what I wanted to do today is look back at some of the duel winners of the Gen 6 and Gen 7 eras and see how they fared in the big race. The 2013 duels saw Kevin Harvick in the 29 and Kyle Busch in the 18 win their duels. So, how did they do in the big race? Well, Kevin Harvick wrecked early and finished 42nd, and Kyle Busch also got caught up in some trouble and finished 34th. Not a very good showing for these guys. 2014, we saw a Joe Gibbs sweep in the duels. So duel number 1, Matt Kenseth won, and duel number 2, his teammate Denny Hamlin. How'd these guys do in the big race? Well, Matt Kenseth had a solid 6th place run, and Denny Hamlin finished 2nd, so solid showings backing up their duel runs. 2015 was also the year of the teammates, this time in the form of Hendrick Motorsports with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson, and both of these guys had great runs in the 500. Dale Earnhardt Jr. finished 3rd, and Jimmy Johnson finished 5th, so solid top 5 runs from both of the duel winners in 2015. 2016 saw Dale Earnhardt Jr. win his 2nd consecutive duel, and Kyle Busch returned from 2013. So how'd these guys do in the 500? Well, Jr. got caught up in trouble early and finished 36th, but Kyle Busch with a solid top 5 in 3rd. Now I should mention in 2017 they started awarding points in the duel to the top 10 through 1. Similar to a stage. Just thought I'd mention that if there's a little bit more of an incentive to actually win your duel. Duel number 1 saw Chase Elliott in the 24, and duel number 2 saw Denny Hamlin. How'd these guys finish in the race? Well, both in the teens. Chase Elliott at 14 and Denny Hamlin at 17th. 2018 saw Ryan Blaney in his first ride for Team Penske win his duel, and Chase Elliott went back-to-back, this time in a renumbered number 9. So, how'd they do in the 500? Well, Blaney finished 7th after having a dominating day leading over 100 laps, and Chase Elliott got caught up in trouble early and finished 33rd. 2019 saw Kevin Harvick in the 4 car and Joey Logano in the 22 sweeping the duels for Ford. Kevin Harvick finished 26th in the Daytona 500, and Joey Logano finished 4th. Logano goes back-to-back in 2020, joining him is William Byron. These guys both had trouble in the 500 though, Logano coming home 26th, and William Byron dead last in 40th. The 2021 duel saw a couple unexpected winners. I mean, Eric Almirola and Austin Dillon, that's a pretty surprising dual win team, but Eric Almirola came in 34th in the 500 and Austin Dillon finished 3rd. 2022, after both cars missed the clash, they came and won the duels in terms of Brad Keselowski and Chris Buescher for RFK. So how'd these guys do in the 500? Well, Keselowski came home 9th and Chris Buescher in 16th. 2023 saw Joey Logano and Eric Almirola winning another duel. So how'd these guys do in the big race? Well, Joey Logano came home runner-up, and Eric Almirola finished 21st. And of course, last year's duels, we saw Christopher Bell in the 20 and Tyler Reddick in the 45 sweep them for Toyota. How'd these guys do? Well, Christopher Bell finished 29th, but Tyler Reddick came home 3rd with a solid top 5. So I want to move into some statistics now just to kind of talk about some things. So here is a list of every duel winner in the last 12 years, and as you can see, about half of them end up finishing in the top 10 in the Daytona 500, but the other half just kind of run it with an average finish of 17.2. I want us to remember that number here. So you're about a 50-50 chance if you're going to translate your duel success to a top 10 or if you're just going to show up. Another thing I wanted to look at here were where were the Daytona 500 winners of the same time period finishing in their duels, right? Because they weren't winning. No one won their duel and won the Daytona 500. So where were these guys finishing? In 2013, Daytona 500 champion Jimmy Johnson finished 4th in his duel. In 2014, his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. finished 4th as well. 2015, Joey Logano finished 3rd in his duel, and in 2016, Denny Hamlin finished 5th. So I don't know if you can see the trend where all of those guys finished top 5 in their duels, but translated them to Daytona 500 wins. 2017 through 2020 saw Kurt Busch finish 3rd in his duel, Austin Dillon finished 7th in his duel in 2018, and Denny Hamlin went back-to-back in 19 and 20, finishing 4th and 11th in his 2 duels. Michael McDowell won the 2021 Daytona 500 after finishing 9th in his duel. Austin Cindric in his rookie season finished 2nd in his duel and translated it to a 500 win. 2023 saw Ricky Stenhouse win from 16th. That was the deepest any driver has finished in their duel and won in this time period. And of course, last year, William Byron finished 8th in his duel before winning the 500. So to go back to some statistics, the average finish of a driver who wins the Daytona 500 in the Duel is 6.3. So what does that mean? It means that these guys aren't necessarily going out there and winning, but they're always running around the top 5, as you can see from this graph. So it's almost like they know they have a good piece. They're not going to try to wreck it just to win the Duel, but they want to get a good starting position for the 500. So, which drivers have actually won the Daytona Duel and the Daytona 500 in the same year? Well, I have 8 drivers here who have done it since the introduction of the Daytona 500 in 1959. Matt Kenseth was the last to do it in 2012. Dale Earnhardt Jr. did it in 2004. His father before him in 1998. Sterling Marlin pulled it off in 1995. Bobby Allison in 1988. Now these next two I have asterisks beside because there was a weird system where they ran 3 duels from 1981 to 1985, and it happened twice. Bill Elliott in the number 9 car in 1985, and Cale Yarborough in the 28 in 84. Cale Yarborough also did this in the 11 car in 1977. So what does this mean before the duel races this week? Well, you don't necessarily need to win, but you want to finish up in the top 5, get a good piece, and get ready for the race on the weekend. Thanks for watching.